All right, guys, it's that time again. It's time to check out some of the industry's new top drivers. Now, normally when you get equipment reviews online or something, it's just some dude hitting the new equipment and giving you his feedback. Not us. We have a robot. Perfect swing, perfect contact every time, everything. So today we're gonna review the new Callaway Rogue ST in Taylormade Stealth. We're gonna look at the numbers, we're gonna look at the feel, the sound, the smell, all of it, okay? Now, normally you're used to us maybe even showing you which driver you could throw the farthest or which driver would sink the fastest if you threw it in the lake. But not today. We're gonna keep it a little more chill, a little more traditional, okay? All right, let's get started. Today we're at Cool Clubs. You already know what it is. They're the industry leaders in club fitting, and they're the gang with all the data. We're here with the robot and the man himself, Mark Timms.
I'm actually in the middle of doing some filming.
You want me to talk to him?
All
right, so here's the deal. Taylormade dropped 3 new drivers and Callaway dropped 4. Basically, both companies tailored their new sticks towards good players, players looking for forgiveness, and players looking for some help with their slice. Let's dive into Taylormade first.
The new Taylormade family is made up of basically 3 different clubs. So they got the Plus, which is their top of the line, their better player one. Has the adjustable slides, you can fine tune right and left. Not quite as forgiving as the other 2, just by virtue of how it's made. This is their flagship. Okay. This is what the guys on tour, for the most part, will be playing.
Then you have the standard Stealth, more forgiving, slightly larger face for miss hits, probably gonna fit most golfers.
Typically a tiny bit higher spin, a couple hundred RPMs. Probably a lot of players using that, especially ones that, have a tendency to want the more forgiving, but don't need the draw bias.
Exactly. The third driver in Taylormade's fam is the Stealth HD. It's draw bias, more weight towards the heel. Guys who hit a slice might be able to aim down the middle with this driver.
Let's fix the slice. That's for probably most golfers, to be honest with you. 90% of the population slices it. Yeah. Why we don't sell 90% of these, that's a bit of a conundrum. We're gonna try to figure that out. Maybe it's an ego thing, who knows?
Okay, at this point, there's an elephant in the room. The biggest buzz around Taylormade this year is their new carbon fiber face. So they're saying we started with wood woods, right? Then steel woods, then titanium woods, and Taylormade is now saying, welcome to the world of carbon fiber woods.
Well, this is a really big year for Taylormade, obviously. This is a new technology they've been playing with for probably 20 years. It's carbon fiber face, right? So there are big advantages to this for saving weight. It's about 40% lighter than titanium.
Basically, they say carbon fiber is lighter, faster, stronger, and less susceptible to deformation over time.
Pretty cool technology.
So what's new with Callaway?
Well, Callaway's got 4 clubs in the family. You've got the standard one, the Max. You got the Max LS for the better player. You've got the D, which is super draw biased for the higher handicap slice it. And they also have another one. They have the Triple Diamond, which is their smaller version, really good player, more fade biased. They've continued to refine the jailbreak technology they have, which stabilizes the face. Basically, it stops the club from expanding when you hit it. So it stops that expansion and transfers more energy to the ball. And they've changed that over the years. Initially, it was just 2 bars, and now it's almost a frame type thing. They call it a speed frame. So they did it with 4 clubs. Taylormade did it with 3 with a slider. But basically, both of those brands can fit just about anybody.
We'll get into some of the numbers and performance later. Let's talk about how these new drivers look. Who's going to win the look game this year?
That's a good question. To be honest, I've got both of these and I haven't decided yet. It's just basically what you like the look of. Callaway's done a nice classic job. I kind of like the gold. It looks very rich in color. Matte black, really nothing to dislike. They do some graphic stuff on the top. This is a trick they've been doing for years. A lot of companies have. By putting some kind of curve in the back, it makes the thing look shorter back to front. Now,
Taylormade obviously has quite a bit of a different look this year.
Yeah, obviously this new technology, they're really counting on this being great, and it is pretty cool stuff. So they highlight it by changing the face to red. They've got some gray ones or blue ones or whatever you want. But from the top, honestly, they made it more traditional looking. They got rid of all the white, it's plain black, really clean looking. They did a really good job with this, but they're both really good drivers.
Looks are one thing. How do these bad boys sound? We had Jared, a Juilliard-trained club fitter, make some music for us.
This is the Rogue Max LS. Pretty solid. High pitch. This is Stealth Plus, Taylormade. More muted, lower pitch.
I'll be honest, I really didn't hear a difference, but that's okay.
Obviously, feel has something to do with the sound and stuff, but there's no right or wrong there,
Nobody's in trouble. Basically, they both feel and sound great. Okay, Cool Clubs ran the numbers on all these clubs, but we wanted to take a closer look at their better player club and their Draw Bias Slice Fixin' Club. First up, we look at Callaway's Max LS and Max D.
Well, what we're trying to show you here is really what is the difference. So we took the two kind of extremes, the low spin LS and the D, which is the draw bias.
On the LS, what did we kind of see?
Well, we hit 3 with each, right? So on the LS, we saw it pretty much straight, maybe a little fade bias. So this is for the better player, but it averaged about 15 yards right, set on totally neutral stuff.
So what did we see with the Max D?
We just switched the heads, left the robot the same, the settings the same, exactly the same swing, and the D was almost 15 yards to the left.
Which I guess is what it's supposed to do.
Exactly what it's supposed to do. The way they make it draw more, basically, is changing the center of gravity. So what they do is, instead of the center of gravity direct behind the club, they move it to the heel.
And they do that by this port weight.
Yeah, the more they can move the center of gravity on a golf club, basically towards the heel here, as you swing it, this wants to close. So it ends up rotating more and closing the face. And what that does is that changes the spin on the club and changes the tilt axis, so it makes it more draw bias.
It's like a slice fixer.
Exactly. Just by changing the heads, you could fix the slice.
It's pretty remarkable. Next up, Taylormade Stealth Plus and Stealth HD. Similar to Callaway, using the robot, these drivers did what they're supposed to.
So the Taylormade Stealth Plus, which is their better player one, when we hit it, was pretty much straight. So not a lot of bias one way or another. Whereas the D, which is the HD, definitely creates more tilt axis and draw bias.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, on the Taylormade Plus, it does have a slide that moves back and forth. So we tested it in the neutral position, where it was pretty neutral. But you can adjust it, so you can put it towards the toe and have it fade more, or towards the heel more. Now keep in mind, all the way to the heel is still not gonna do as much as the D, which is specifically designed in every aspect to make the ball stop slicing.
Sure. Like normal, if you really want to know which driver is perfect for you, get fit.
You want to mention the robot fitting stuff?
Robot fitting? What are you talking about?